The conventional cotton shirt you are wearing drained nearly 3,000 litres of fresh drinking water before it was even spun into a single thread. We have been sold a massive agricultural lie disguised as a natural baseline for the global apparel industry. The clinical reality is that cotton is a resource-heavy legacy crop that has mathematically failed to scale with modern planetary constraints. An optimized botanical alternative exists that requires absolutely zero artificial irrigation to reach full maturity. Tencel Lyocell is synthesized from sustainably managed wood pulp within a closed-loop system that actively recovers and reuses more than 99% of its organic solvents. This is not merely an alternative fabric, but a ruthless technological upgrade that renders traditional cotton supply chains functionally obsolete. The global obsession with conventional cotton has created dead zones in major river systems worldwide. Pesticide runoff from massive agricultural operations systematically poisons groundwater while destroying local soil microbiology. We are subsidizing our wardrobes by permanently degrading the arable land required to sustain future populations. Even organic cotton fails the fundamental stress test of basic resource efficiency and scalability. It requires significantly more landmass to produce the exact same yield as genetically modified variants. We cannot solve a systemic ecological crisis by simply applying a less toxic methodology to a fundamentally flawed crop. The mechanical processing of raw cotton fibers demands excessive chemical intervention to achieve commercial viability. Toxic bleaching agents and heavy metal dyes are injected into the supply chain to force the raw material into acceptable aesthetic standards. This creates a highly contaminated wastewater output that goes largely unregulated in primary manufacturing regions. Beyond agricultural devastation, cotton garments physically degrade at an alarming rate under basic mechanical stress. The short staple fibers inevitably break down, resulting in microscopic shedding and rapid structural failure. Consumers are locked into a cycle of constant replacement mast as a natural consequence of wearing clothes. The industry aggressively defends cotton because the deeply entrenched infrastructure relies on cheap agricultural labor. Transitioning away from this legacy fiber threatens billions of dollars invested in outdated spinning and weaving machinery. It is an economic protection racket designed to suppress superior material technologies. We must stop romanticizing a plant that fundamentally belongs in the 19th century. Every metric of modern agricultural science indicates that cotton is an evolutionary dead end for mass-market apparel. The math simply does not support its continued dominance. Tencel Lyocell operates on a completely different technological paradigm that eliminates agricultural dependencies. The raw cellulose is extracted from fast-growing eucalyptus and beech trees grown on land unsuitable for food production. This shift immediately reclaims millions of hectares of prime agricultural real estate. The solvent spinning process is a masterclass in clinical chemical engineering and resource preservation. The amine oxide solvent used to dissolve the wood pulp is captured in a closed loop with incredible precision. There is virtually zero toxic discharge, making it a functionally sterile manufacturing environment. Unlike thirsty cotton fields, these managed forests rely entirely on natural rainfall to thrive. The water footprint is mathematically negligible compared to the thousands of litres wasted on traditional agricultural crops. We are bypassing the global water crisis by engineering materials that refuse to participate in it. At a microscopic level, lyocell fibers possess a flawlessly smooth surface area that cotton cannot replicate. This structural integrity translates directly into superior moisture management and advanced thermal regulation. It is a highly engineered botanical fiber designed specifically for human performance. The dye uptake of Tencel is exponentially more efficient than any conventional cellulose material. It requires significantly lower concentrations of pigment and vastly reduced energy consumption to achieve deep color saturation. The result is a vibrant textile that naturally resists fading while preserving critical aquatic ecosystems. The structural longevity of Lyocell fundamentally disrupts the planned obsolescence of the modern fashion industry. These fibers withstand intense mechanical friction without succumbing to the rapid degradation seen in standard cotton blends. It forces a paradigm shift from volume-based consumption to long-term asset acquisition. The resistance to this transition is fueled entirely by corporate inertia and massive agricultural lobbying. Massive conglomerates refuse to abandon their depreciated cotton assets, despite the clear technological superiority of botanical alternatives. They are actively slowing human progress to protect their quarterly margins. Blending cotton with synthetic petrochemicals is the industry's desperate attempt to mimic high-performance textiles. This creates an unrecyclable plastic-infused monster that will contaminate landfills for the next 5 centuries. True innovation requires absolute botanical purity without the crutch of cheap plastic derivatives. Integration of lyocell mandates a completely new approach to seam construction and pattern engineering. Without the artificial stretch of petrochemicals, garment stability relies entirely on advanced mechanical design. It separates the highly skilled technical manufacturers from the exploitative fast fashion sweatshops. We are currently witnessing the final stages of the conventional cotton era. The accelerating climate crisis will inevitably force regulatory actions against high-impact agricultural practices. Early adoption of strict botanical alternatives is not a moral choice, but a critical survival strategy. The data is conclusive, objective, and entirely devoid of sentimentality. Tencel destroys cotton across every measurable parameter of ecological impact, resource efficiency, and mechanical performance. Continuing to support the legacy cotton industry is a deliberate vote for technological stagnation. You must ruthlessly audit your own supply chains and eliminate outdated agricultural dependencies. The future of textiles belongs exclusively to highly engineered, closed-loop botanical systems. The evolutionary mandate is clear, and the transition is already underway.